Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Train Sim World, and welcome back to, I think of it as the CSX Heavy Haul DLC. Even though it's sort of the base game, like the core content, it's to me it's always going to be a DLC. So we're out of scenarios, not 100%, but we're almost out of scenarios. So I've been doing services, and this is the one that I got my eye on right here. Q276, an Autorack from Toledo to Baltimore. 842. It's the full length of the run. I don't think we're going to go the full length of the run. Let's go, I don't know, let's go half an hour, 40 minutes. Here we go. And this is, we haven't spent a lot of time in this locomotive. I guess this is like the long haul. Oh, we're just jumping right in. Okay. All right, 6.8 miles. Is that it? All right. So reverse to forward. Brakes off. Everything off. Let me give it a little. Here we go. Okay. There's no. I guess the services really do. I mean, I know they're different than the. I know the services are different than the scenarios as far as goals, but I guess the setup and everything is really different too. Okay, we're moving now, and I also need to. I guess I could have done this before we started. Let's take a look and make sure all our switches are good. Okay. For the foreseeable future, they are. Right. Okay. Cool. It's summertime. Let's get our window open here. Don't need that. Don't need that. That. Turn a fan on. Cool off a little bit. Oh. There's our coworker. Good morning. Cool. What else do we need to? I think this is just straight through all the way, but I want to make sure there's nothing for us to. Right? Yep. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're running out of steam, so to speak, on Train Sim. I like it. I really do. There's just, to me, it's a game that you play. It's not necessarily a game that you watch someone else play. Nothing wrong with that. I want to open her window. I don't know if she wants me to. We'll just leave it. It's a game that you play. It's not necessarily a game that you watch someone else play. Fantastic. And I guess, I mean, if you think about it, I guess that's most games. But you get this YouTube thing going, and you start thinking, or at least I start thinking, you know, what do people want to see? Off. Right? What do people want to see, and what's going to be interesting content? You know, what's going to work for people. And as much as I enjoy this game now, you know, I have to recognize that it is definitely a game that you play and not necessarily a game that you watch. There's some interesting things to do, but I think once the novelty wears off, there's not a lot to see, I guess. And I did, was it last episode? I don't know. It was one of the Northeast Corridor scenarios, I want to say. And I'm always talking about how, you never do anything in this sim. You just get in, and you get the train going, and then you just sit up here and monitor the speed, right? You really don't do anything. And I found a scenario where I guess there was a lot of throwing switches and shunting rolling stock and running back and forth in the yard and doing things. And I took a look at it and I was like, nah, because we don't really go anywhere, right? It's all in one place. There's no distance. And maybe it's because I'm so into the trucking sims and even farming sims. You tend to cover some ground, and certainly in racing sims you cover some ground that I because I'm into transport simulation, I always feel like we need to be moving. And when we're in the yard just moving some things around, we're not really moving any distance, so it's like, that's no good. But it's weird because that is a scenario, right? Versus what we're doing right now, which is, it's cool, but mostly it's just me talking to you good people. There's no, So that's, when I thought about that, it's fascinating to me that, right? Like, hey, too bad there's no scenario where we do more things. Oh, here's one. I don't want to do that scenario. So, it's a cool game. I just feel like it's not ever going to be, I don't want to say what I want it to be. I mean, it is what it is, but I think of it as part of the channel. I want it to be part of the channel, but it's like, it just ain't gonna be. I'll keep doing episodes. Nobody's watching anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You get what I'm saying. Do you? I think you do. Yeah. It's not, I'm saying, I've got like 16 total subscribers. It's not like there's going to be a big exodus of viewers. People are going to be like, oh God, I'm unsubscribing you. You keep doing those train videos. We're coming up on a bit of a slowdown. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. I'll keep doing them because why not? But I want it to be more interesting. There's supposed to be a DLC, the West Somerset DLC. Maybe that'll spice things up a little bit. I don't know. It's definitely, if you're looking for something more chill than trucking, this is it. This game is definitely relaxing. What's weird about it is it's relaxing, but you can't ever relax, particularly when you've got these freight trains coming down through this cut. You have to really monitor your speed and not let the train get away from you. What a world, man. What a world. Driving a train in the middle of the night too. Insomnia is just kicking my ass for the past month or so. Can't sleep, get up and drive a train. Isn't that right? Okay, she's not talking to me. I say 45 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes. We'll see. We'll see who gives in first, me or you. I'm curious how far Dovetail is going to go with the DLC. I know for Train Simulator, what is it? I thought it was $3,500 worth of DLC. It turns out it's like $8,000. If you buy it all full pop, it's $8,000 worth of total DLC. And seems to be a little slower for this sim so far. The game came out last summer, and now it's spring, and there's 3 DLC. Well, there's 4, but one of them is just a locomotive. I guess that counts. And then a 5th one planned. Yeah, I guess that's, if you call it 6 in a year, right? If there's West Somerset plus 1 more before August, call it 6 DLC in a year. Yeah, I guess that's a decent amount. And they tend to be like big DLC. I know for Truck Sim, there's a DLC that you can get. It's like Valentine's Day paint jobs. I don't really think of that as DLC. DLC is something like Italia, right? It's a whole country of roads and yards and jobs and cargoes and everything else, scenery. That's a DLC. Valentine's Day paint job, not so much a DLC. So, I guess Train Sim World is the same way, that their DLC tends to be a little bit more comprehensive. Although, having said that, that Rapid Transit DLC, as much as I like it, I have to admit, the first couple times I played it, I was like, is this a joke? It's just one subway line through Leipzig with 1 locomotive. And that's cool and all, but it's really not exactly engrossing, right? It's not like super comprehensive or in-depth or anything. But nice enough, I suppose. I really do like the underground stops. And I like that in the Northeast Corridor, the locomotives, the trains go through Penn Station in New York, in one side, not the other. Like through Penn Station. I think that's cool. That's my... couldn't find my Gatorade. When my insomnia gets bad, I tend to look, not, I wouldn't say it's research, because I've done it all before. I sort of look around to try to remind myself, could there be any causes of this? And one of the things that I come across periodically is you're dehydrated. You don't sleep well when you're dehydrated, which seems counterintuitive, because when you're hydrated, you have to keep getting up to pee. But that's a story for another day. Apparently when you're dehydrated, it just makes like every part of your life worse. So I come across something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably drink more water. But the thing is, I don't like water. I really don't like water. Just plain water. Can't stand it. So I have to drink water with something in it. And I don't want to drink like sweet drinks or sugary drinks or whatever. So I drink the 0-calorie Gatorade, the G2 Gatorade. And I've got a bottle of it. I misplaced it. I'm sitting at my desk, sitting at the desk in this hotel room, and as far as you can misplace something without moving, I somehow found a way to do it. But I found it, so everything worked out. Yeah, man, this is Train Sim. You think my regular videos are boring? Let's hop in a train. I'm gonna need to pull this out of the rotation. I think I am. I've got a little, what do you call it? A little flow going of what I do and the order that I do videos in. But I swear, man, we're gonna have to swap this out for something else. We can do rally. We can do Formula One. Formula One. It's really not ready yet. It's really not. I'm just not good enough at it. But I don't know. Maybe there's an appeal to that. Right? If we get to see me practice up to winning my first Grand Prix, I don't know. Every time I play this sim, I think, how are trains not automated? What's his name again? want it's not here. There's that. Where is the this down here? Oh yeah. Cool. Where is the what is that? I keep just sort of skimming across it. I can't grab it. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Might have to go over there and look at that. So where are my ditch lights? No. Well, you want bright. You want brighter in the daytime, right? Because everybody's eyes are adjusted to light. Isn't that right? I don't know, man. I don't drive a train. I gotta look at this now. This is gonna bug me. Heating and AC. Interesting. Why is that? Why that's kind of buried in there like that. Also, why is it misspelled? Huh. Right. Oh, yeah. I wonder how long I can leave that on before we start to drive me insane. Right about that long. What else? Wasn't there one other thing I wanted to look at? Yeah. So, down here. Ah, okay. Leading unit, short hood lead, long hood lead. Huh. Okay. This is heater stuff. I feel like that needs to be somewhere different. Wow. Trains, man. Holy smokes, there's a lot going on. Uh-oh. Right. No. Ah! Right. So I thought I saw just now that it said auto brake, but I think I may have just like skimmed across it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like my eye, my cursor just kind of skimmed across it. I'm curious how far out Dovetail will go. You know, I've noticed, and I get it, you know, it's different companies, and it's also different, I guess, different methodologies or different problems to solve. But for something like Eurotruck, the expansion tends to be kind of continuous, right? Like every expansion builds on the previous one. And I assume American Truck Sim will be the same way, that the DLC will always be, the next one will always be connected to the previous one because it's a road network. But I feel like with Train Sim, you're not limited by that. So right now we've got 4 different railroads in 3 countries. And even the 2 that are in the same country are in different places. And then the next one is that Western Somerset. And that's not connected to Great Western, at least as far as I know, it's not. So, oh, this looks like a different part of the map. I guess I must have been here because there's only one line, right? But this looks different. I don't really remember being here. What am I trying to say? Yeah, you get it. They could do, like Dovetail could do. They could do something in. They could do something in France. They could do TGV. They could do something in the American West. They could do something in the Canadian West. But they don't have to be connected the same way the expansions in something like Truck Sim need to be. But I have always wondered if they don't, and it might be possible to do this in Train Simulator, but I don't know, because there's just almost too much DLC to deal with in Train Simulator. There's so much of it. It's like all the DLC. But I'm curious if you can, or if somebody has tried to build the rail network for a whole country. And I understand that you wouldn't map like every single meter of track. I get that. But I wonder if anybody's done a rail network like coast to coast, you know, east to west and north to south of an entire country. Curious. I kind of really want these ditch lights now. I feel like I'm on a mission. We're definitely climbing now. Nope. Alright. There's a glitch in the matrix right there. That's what just happened. Alright. We'll give it another 10 or 15 minutes, then I'm going to call it. That's the other problem with these, is when do you stop? There is that. You have to admit, it's pretty cool. I mean, you don't have to admit that. I guess you could admit that, but yeah. That's pretty cool. Who doesn't love trains? Back the power up a little bit here. And I guess there were some I guess there were some changes to the way the hoses and cables hang, but I can't get in there well enough to see. I'm trying to look right down there between those two locomotives. Can't quite get the camera down in there. There's a nice angle. Maybe we'll do this for a little while. Can you feel me trying to make this interesting? And it's like, no, this just isn't going to be interesting. You can do anything you want. You can do anything you want, man. There's nothing interesting happening here. I feel you. curious what happens when we get to Sand Patch. If they're just going to send us ahead to the next point. We'll just keep rolling. Because I guess that in the scenario it looked like we go the whole length of the service, and we've gone from like here to here to here, and this would take probably another couple hours. Not happening. I wouldn't do that to you. Yeah, maybe we'll swap this out for rally. And you know the thing about rally that fascinates me is it really doesn't matter how fast you are. It always looks fast. I mean, well, you need to be sort of fast. But for something like F1, I'm finding if you're a few seconds off the pace, I don't know how. It's like our eyes are just so tuned into the things we've been seeing our whole lives. I've been watching racing since I was a kid, and it's like our eye can just see the difference between a car that's going really fast and like ludicrous speed. But you don't get that in rally. Rally racing, it's like, I don't know if you spend a lot of time in boats, like little boats, but if you're in a boat going, I don't know, 30, 40 miles an hour, it feels like 100. If you're in a boat going 100 miles an hour, it feels like it's going 1,000. It's ridiculous how it like magnifies the speed. It's like being in a convertible. Being in a convertible adds like 30 miles per hour to the feeling of speed. And I think rally is the same way. Like it's just more entertaining to watch. You got trees going by, you got driving through cactus. I mean, just as an example, you don't have to drive through cactus. You know what I'm saying. So maybe we'll swap this out for rally. I don't know, man. I like the train, and it's in the logo. I feel like I want to keep the train, but God, this is boring. I mean, me talking about how boring it is probably not making it more exciting, but yeah, we both know. We're not fooling anybody. This is, wow. You know what? I'll go an hour then. I'll go a whole hour. Just to see if there's anybody crazy enough to go a whole hour. That is something that I've been thinking about as well. I do tend to make longer videos, and I know a lot of YouTubers go between 20 and 30 minutes, and I go between 30 and 70, 75 minutes. Most of my videos are about an hour. And I don't know where people are at with that. I don't think it's a problem because you can always turn a video off or skip to the end. But I have wondered about that. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem. Because there's no, I mean, some of the races have an ending. Some of the race videos that I do have an ending, and I guess the truck vids have an ending, but then you just skip ahead to the ending. You skip the middle part, skip to the end. So I don't think making longer videos, I mean, I don't mind doing it. And there's plenty of ways to work around the length of the video. I can't imagine anybody saying, I'm not into that, it would take too long to watch it. Well, just skip to the end or skip the middle or whatever. But I think I am going to stick with longer videos. They make more sense to me. Right. Fixing to get to Sand Patch. And I have no idea what happens here. I think it's just going to give us our next goal, and we'll just keep going. So what I may do then is pause the game when we get to we're coming up on at least half an hour. I may pause the game when we get to, if not this one, the next one. I'll pause, I'll end the recording, and then I'll hop back in the train and finish it so I get the points. And level up, yo. Give me that XP. Right, I see a lot of red lights up here. I hope none of those apply to us. Because if they do, well, we're fixing to have our scenario, and nope, not us. Which of these, is it this one? Is it this one? There we go. It's a setup. That's the one I want. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. There we go. Okay. I sort of know what I'm doing. I sort of do. Mostly I don't. I feel like we are applying a lot of torque and not really speeding up. Okay, now we're starting to get some. Yeah, I mean, we're headed downhill. Shouldn't we be going faster? I feel like the brakes are somehow on. Like I did something when I was messing with the dynamic brakes. I guess we'll see. Let's go to Hindman, and then we'll call it. Maybe, because the 30 miles an hour is going to take us half an hour to get there. We'll just go a ways, and then I'll call it. Not go away. We'll go a ways, and then I'll call it. Oi. Yeah. Nope, I wouldn't do that to you. I like you too much. There we go. Feeling like we're not slowing. And that's a lot of amps. We're not slow. There we go. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. Are we? I think maybe a little bit. A little bit. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we're learning the dynamic brake. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, man. This is some exciting YouTube gaming right here. Oi. It's fun to do. It sort of is exciting because I'm trying not to like flip the train. We've got the what do you call it? We can derail. Yep, sort of exciting to do. I know it's not a lot of fun to watch. It's our little, or is it this one? One of them we need to remind them periodically that we're still here and we haven't fallen asleep. I have to say, let's spin around and take a look here. As far as I know, this is a big ass train. Yeah, look at it. All the way on the left side of the screen, I think that's us. All the way through those switchbacks. I guess I can do this. Yep, that's us. All the way back there. Huh. Yeah, we're almost at 1,000 amps. That is a crazy amount of power. I feel like we need just a touch more brake. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So it's just a little before 2 a.m. It's like 10 to 2. I'm going to go till 2 a.m. And we'll call it a video. You know, it's crazy because I feel like, well, the gauge indicates that this hill is getting steeper, but we're slowing down a little bit. I wonder if that's got something to do with the way dynamic brakes work. No idea. And every time I ask a rhetorical question like that, I'm like, yeah, you know, that's probably in the manual. In the tutorial, tell you all about it. I'm like, screw that tutorial. I don't need that tutorial. I'm just going to wing it. Not a bad looking game. That draw distance, I don't know. But, you know, I have to say, this game in particular, I do have to dial my settings back. A lot of sims I can be, you know, somewhere between high and ultra. And I feel like this one, I'm more like medium with a little bit of high. So in fairness, that might be less the draw distance of the game and just where I have to set it to get any kind of frame rate at all. And you know, it's weird because particularly when I'm recording, I know I could potato my graphics and get 60 FPS all day long, but it's this, just that balance, right? Just looking for that balance constantly, where you want the game to be super crisp and just totally awesome in every possible way, and you want 60 FPS, and it's like, all right, well, you know, go get some kind of crazy graphics card, and that'll happen no problem. But if you're on a human system, right, like something that's not completely insane, then you are going to have to split the difference between those two. So yeah, man. But I have a feeling, and I've even seen this, people that do have crazy systems, you know, they're all weirded out because they can't go, you know, 4K and hold 120 FPS or whatever. It's like everybody's got problems. It's just sort of the scope or the scale of your problems. I do like that view now, where you can look up that draw and you can just barely see the tail end of the train through those trees. I like that now. So if we go here, how long is this train? Pretty damn long is the answer. Right. 5 minutes, counting it down. It is relaxing, though, I have to say. It is very relaxing. Oh. Easy. Oh, yeah. Love it when that happens. I've never looked. I'll look as soon as I'm done here. I will look. I don't know if anybody makes a USB train control panel. Surely somebody does. You would think, right? Somebody has to. I'll take a look when we're done here, but I'm guessing somebody does. I wonder what that looks like. Right. 2 minutes. Can you hear it? It's like I'm almost enthusiastic for this to just be over with. That's what you're looking for. That's the kind of commitment that you want from a YouTuber. God, when are we going to be there so this can be done with? Soon. Touch your brakes right there. Yeah, man, looking forward to that West Somerset. Time for some new scenarios. And you know, the other thing is we could just do the scenarios again, because they, as weird as this is going to sound, it couldn't be any more boring than what we're doing now, right? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just redo a scenario. Hey, why not? I don't know if I mean, it says we're still descending, but I feel like this dynamic brake is a lot more responsive than it was earlier. Curious why that would be. How are we doing? Oh, no, there's just no way. Right. Folks, hang on. There we go. Folks, thanks for stopping back to join the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Train Sim World. CSX Heavy Haul. I don't know. Is it the DLC? I'm just going to say it is. The CSX Heavy Haul DLC. And we will see you next time. Take care now.